Hi guys, thanks for joining me with another episode of Still Going. Okay, so today we're talking about those crazy racist Karens. Those Karens, always doing something crazy. Well, I always refer to them as crazy, but in fact, they aren't really crazy. They're just hateful and demonic. But anyways, that's what we're talking about today. So let's chat. So before we get into the video, I'm really enjoying doing these videos, so I'm going to try to upload more often. That would mean that I would really like for you guys to subscribe so that I can reach at least 2,000 subscribers by December. I don't think that's too much to ask for, 2,000. So if you like the video, subscribe. Please do make a comment and share if you care. Okay? All right. So as I said, we're talking about Karen today. Before we get into it, I'll just let you have a look at the video.
I started my day like any other day. I went out for a run in my neighborhood and I saw this woman, out of my peripheral. Then next thing you know, I'm hit with something hard and I hear a bang. After I'm hit in my backside with this object, I take off my earphones and I see this deranged person yelling N-words and calling me all types of racial slurs, and it was like I was in a real life crack-a-mole.
So like always, we see Karen being hateful, like always. That's how they behave.
I try my best to retreat and create some distance between me and her. However, this insane domestic terrorist just kept coming at me and closing that distance, and I feared for my life. So I remember that I was carrying my Panther Defense key rings from Shop, and I just gave her that work. I put something on her mind. I had to make her leave me alone. I feared for my life. She had already assaulted me and she continued to approach me, so I had no other choice but to defend myself. I do not have not one forgiveness bone in my body. She shouldn't have came out bothering me, and so she picked that fight. She got exactly what was coming for her, and I don't forgive. I hope she died, and I bet you she won't mess with nobody else. Even if she has some kind of mental shortcomings or whatever, she won't be crazy enough to go bother someone else after this. Who does that? Like, where was her handlers to keep her from terrorizing my neighborhood? She needs to go. I hope that ass whooping that she got for fucking with me made her put something on her mind. There comes a point when you have to stand your ground and fight, and I stood up to her and I fought back. Hopefully, she won't go bother anybody else, because it may be worse. But I put something on her mind to stop that threat. I advise everyone to go to Shop and protect yourself. Be a hard target. She thought that I was a soft target, but she got that word. That'll put something on her mind. We have to keep our community safe, and we have to get people like that off the street that's going to assault people and bother them when they're not doing anything to anybody else.
I really like this video, and I wanted to show it to you, not because so much that she really put Karen in her place, but the way that she went about doing it. I like the fact that it wasn't really about talking about your mama and all this kind of craziness. It really wasn't about that. It was just being mature about the situation and realizing that people who are behaving in this manner needs to be put in their place. And it's not about us turning the other cheek, because I think what has happened over the years is that we've got this whole Christianity turned upside down, or I guess I should say religion turned upside down, where we're always turning the other cheek and they're getting away with monstrous behavior. I like how Tiffany Johnson really put this girl in her place. And the way that she talked about the behavior of Karen. She talked about her being domestic terrorist. What I really like about this particular video is that Tiffany was intellectual and calm and smart about herself, and it wasn't about telling off Karen or cursing at her and putting her in the place that she belongs. She talked about being fearful of her life and Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's the Karens that are saying, "Oh, I was fearful of my life, and so that's why I shot this person, and that's why I did what I did." Tiffany also labeled Karen as a domestic terrorist, and that's really what she is. That's really what they are. And Karen being the people who are being racist and prejudiced to people who haven't done anything to them, right? She is a terrorist. I think that's the missing part of this whole Karen situation, is that we have been lowering ourselves to their level, and we need to be thinking of ourselves as who we are, as the goddesses that we are. And when I watch this Tiffany, I see this sister as she is. She's saying, "You're a terrorist, and you're a bully, and you need to be put in your place. I won't tolerate this behavior." And did you see the sister, how she's dropped? She's got her gun. She's got what looks like a gun. I'm not sure if it's a bullet gun or if it's a stun gun. And she has her knuckle, whatever they're called, and she has her knife, and she's ready, because I think that's what we're failing to realize, is that we are at war. We have been at war for 400 years, and we don't even know it. We don't even know that the Karens and Ken of this world have declared war on us, and we're walking around with a smile on our faces, and forgiving them and carrying them and loving them, and that's all great and well for someone who reciprocate that same behavior towards you, but that's not what's happening, right? So those terrorists, domestic terrorists, who are actually waging war against us, we need to stand up and realize that this is battle. You need to prepare yourself for battle. Now, I'm not saying, and I guess I probably should say this disclaimer at the start of the video, that I'm not saying, for any young person watching this video, or anyone who failed to understand, this is not about you going out and bullying people, or you going out and starting something with someone. If someone says something to you, you should be intelligent enough to be able to rebuttal them without touching them whatsoever. You shouldn't be, if someone call you whatever it is that they call us, the N-word, you shouldn't be starting, you shouldn't be pulling out your gun on them, right? You need to be able to do one of two things: either ignore them, or say something back to them to let them know that you do not accept that behavior. But if they're physically attacking you, then you need to realize that you need to protect yourself.
I do not have not one forgiveness bone in my body. She shouldn't have came out bothering me. And
I find it hilarious. I don't have a forgiveness bone in my body. And I think that's how we need to think, right? Because we keep forgiving and, as I said, turning the other cheek and saying, "Oh, that poor Karen," and "Oh, that's how they are," and what have you. No. Forgive what? Someone just physically abused you and you're forgiving? Let the afterlife deal with that, as far as I'm concerned. Because we keep forgiving and they continue to do what they do. So you either protect yourself, or either accept the fact that you will be destroyed, because that's what it is. And then she says, "I don't forgive. I hope she died." That's just hilarious. That's hilarious, because it just goes to show that, how it just goes to show how much she loves herself. Okay, now yes, I know you're gonna say that, okay, she's hoping somebody dies, but listen, in a physical attack, you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, I wish them well, and I hope they get some help." And when you're lying on the floor bloody, dying, no. If you physically attack me, I'm gonna hope you die. So basically, Tiffany, thanks for the lesson. We are at war. Actually, we've been at war. So when they strike first, you have a choice. You either march and cry and picket about it, or you either suit up and protect yourself. Until next time, maintain your inner peace and love the people who love you. Bye.